back to that. Yeah. Uh-huh. We back in business, Baltimore. We back. Uh-huh. Right now, you with Big Sam. Just let's get to it. And I'm here with my go-getters. Let's go. Let's go. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What up with y'all? This that early morning edition. Man, I was gonna try to have it zoom in and zoom out with you. I can't do that right now. It ain't connected. I wish it was. I hit you. Ho. I might got some now. Let me go there and try it now. Let me see what it do. Let me see what it do. Still ain't doing that. I should have said it beforehand, but I didn't. But yeah, hold on. It ain't working. I get back to that later on. I had this working. I'll be zooming in and zooming out on y'all. I think I got it set for the phone, but I'm gonna set it back for the camera. Okay. Y'all see what the daily topic is. Sunday recap and lies and BS. Lies and BS. Reason I wanted to bring this up was because everybody know the situation with Lil Durk. You know, I ain't giving him no excuses. I ain't talking about free Durk. That ain't my platform. Uh, but what I want to talk about is the lies people tell, the BS people put you through, and it just is a sad affair. Sometimes it's a sad affair. It's a sad affair when you can have somebody with you that you taking care of. You know, you doing more for them than usually anybody else in their life, and they'll be looking at you with disdain, ready to knock you off, ready to stab you on your back. E2 Brute, I don't know if y'all know about that. That's the March of Eyes. You know, I think that was Julius Caesar, Brutus, and I think Mark Antony. He thought it was his friends, and when they came up with the plot to overthrow him, his two best friends was right there. Julius Caesar turned around and said, "E2 Brute," which is translated to "You two, you two, you my mans." You know, I treated you like family, and this is what I get. So it's situations where people will do the most outlandish, the most horrendous, the most unthinkable in order to get what they want. They don't care. A lot of people don't even care about their own kids. They don't care about their spouse. They don't care about their mama. I seen somebody that was working the pack, aka hustler, selling drugs. Um, he let them put his mama, his mama can't even walk without a cane, but he let them put his mama, his niece and nephew, and his sister in handcuffs on their knees before he decided to. I don't even think he. I don't even think he. He let them take them in. They ain't take the niece and the nephew, and they ain't take the sister. But I think they took the mama because it was her house. They took the mama, and he sat there and let them. Like, what type of person, what type of integrity, what type of principle do you have when you would let somebody snatch up your mama? Your mama. And I've heard people letting people snatch up their grandmama so they can try to stay out of jail. And it's like, it's unthinkable. Some of the things that people do, some of the things and the crimes and the heinous acts that people will do. And you think you got friends in here, you think you got family who love you, but humans are humans. Humans will do the most unthinkable things, and I think one of a human being's strong point is trickery, you know, deceit, deception, because a lot of times people have you seeing them in a certain way, They'll give you a hard time when you even see a whisper of what they really are. But the whole time, they hiding who they are for a moment they could take advantage of. And the reason I'm bringing this all about, because like that little Dirk situation, he had this guy, he put him in his, like, man, you think about that dude. I think his name is Jam, Lil Jam. The irony of that, Lil Jam got Lil Durk and the Big Jam. I know Lil Jam, but you know, I'm quite sure without being around Lil Durk, he probably would have been somewhere dirty, struggling and striving, hustling, on his way to get shot, on his way to get robbed, on his way to do a long jail sentence. Probably wouldn't have been able to put together a pot to piss in. But he was around this person who afforded him to have access to maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars or more. And, people in their mind, they figure like, it was me that made this all possible. They not willing to look outside of themselves, and they can't because they selfish. They full of it. They full of themselves. And there's always an excuse to why they did it. Like I give an example. It was this guy named Boo, Herb Hollowell. I was in the feds with him. I ain't had nothing against him. But I remember he was telling me a story of him and this guy named Big Daddy. They was caught up on a RICO conspiracy, big drugs, big money. And he was saying he held it for me for a while because he wanted me to look at him in a certain light. But really, I didn't care. It wasn't my story. It didn't have anything to do with me. But just being around me, I guess he decided to open up and was like, before you hear from somebody else, I want to tell you myself. So he went into the story of how for a certain amount of money, he spilled the beans. He told. He said they locked him up and Big Daddy had $250,000 of his money. And he said he was trying to reach out and Big Daddy was not getting in contact with him. And he was like, he just wanted some of his money back, but he couldn't get it back. And when he realized he couldn't get it back, he decided to cooperate. And was one of the main reasons that the dude was locked up. Like I said, I have nothing to do with it. I ain't got no dog in that fight. But he was justifying why he did what he did. And I've heard it numerous times before. Numerous. And, me, myself, I don't necessarily hold it against people because I look at people with humanity and I strive to see things from their point of view too. But where, I do step to the side, I do take offense to some of that stuff is the mentality, the hurt that you may cause knowingly or unknowingly just to save yourself. And I get it. Everybody feel like, it's them against the world. I had somebody real close and near and dear to me tell me they operated the way they operate because they all they got. And I'm sitting there listening to them like, you're not all you got. I'm here. I've been here. I've came through. I've been what you're talking about you don't have in your life, even at this present time. While you sitting here and talking to me, your justification is because you felt like you was by yourself. So it's just like, people will come up with any reason to justify the things that they do when they hurting others, as long as it serves themselves. So, I just wanted to get into that and just, figure out how people feel about, snitching, telling. Like I said, these days, and it for real, it's always been this way. You look at some of the people that tell you don't do that, don't snitch. They tell, they snitch. And it's only when it serves them that it becomes, a code of honor. Like a lot of these dudes, they do unexplainable things. They come home. They come home, they be in there for murder. They be in there for possession of firearms when they a convicted felon. And they come right home. But then they putting it on you, man. Snitching. Yeah, I don't mess with the snitches. And okay, how you come home so fast? Because the last time I checked, they don't give you get out of jail for free cards. That's only in Monopoly. They don't do it in real life. I've been in jail, and it ain't nowhere where you can get out of jail for free. It's nowhere. Only one way. Telling. Telling. Cooperating. Ain't no deals to be had to get you out of something that there's a crime that was committed unless you help them to solve another crime that they cannot figure out, and that will help alleviate some of the punishment that you receive. Other than that, they don't care if you being a model inmate. They don't care if you're a celebrity. They don't care if you got all A's and B's in high school. They don't care if your community love you. That ain't got nothing to do with your crime, because what they're going to tell you is you should have thought about all that before you committed your crime and harmed others. I've seen people, I've seen a guy kill his own friend, his best friend, he claimed, and killed him, from the story that I heard, from what he was telling me, over a girl. He liked this guy's girl. And the story he gave me was that the guy was acting funny and he was high, and he was hiding in the closet, and they got to arguing and he killed her. But this is your best friend. In an earlier story, you told me about how he saved your life. How he saved your life. And now you killed your unarmed friend over an argument. Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. But other stories he was telling me about, this guy's girl liked him and yada, yada, yada. And, so I just put one and one together. You had a jealousy for this guy. You like the same girl as this guy. And you let yourself build up a resentment and an animosity towards him. And you dehumanized him and killed him over an argument when this guy is the same guy who saved your life. But you're going to sit there and justify, I knew he was that type of guy, and, I was scared. But you won't scared when he saved your life. You won't scared when it was beneficial to you. So, again, people are deceitful. They are. You hate to come to grips with it, but you see it all the time. And the only, I guess, defense against that, the only way to combat that is to be humane and have compassion yourself. Try not to let the behavior and the character of others influence you or make you do certain things that are outside of how you naturally want to move. And to me, it goes on. You will have a relationship with a man and woman, and a man to deceive his wife or his girlfriend or his baby mama, vice versa. A woman to deceive her baby mama or friend or husband. And they come up with all sort of justifications. Woman, oh, you weren't there for me. You was at work all the time. Oh, the dude to say, oh, when I wanted it, you didn't want to get, but it's all deceit. It's all deception. People do some of the most heinous things. Like I said, people will turn, man, I've had my father still for me as a child on more than one occasion. I remember one time we had a paper route. Me and my brother. We used to work the paper route together. You know how the paper route goes is a consignment sort of situation where you get the people the paper. This was back in the day. I don't know how it is now. You get the people the paper, you deliver the paper, and sometimes they'll pay you right then and there, or sometimes they'll pay you later on. You let it build up, but you come in and the papers are given to you for a certain amount of money, and you get to make the overage, the overhead on the paper. So say the papers is like $1.50. You might be able to keep 50 cents of that. So, at the end of, I guess, I don't know if it was a week or a 2 week period or something like that, we go and collect the money. I think I was maybe 11 years old, 12 years old, maybe. My brother had to be 9 or 10, maybe 10. So, we collected money. I think it was $100 and some odd dollars. Our father said, we're going to put it in the bowl and sit it on top of this counter. And when I go look for it, I'm sitting there, can't find it. I look in the basket where it was on top of the countertop, and it's gone. And my father, he's sitting there helping me look for the money that only he could have reached, only he could have got. And sitting there talking about, man, I don't know where it's at. Let's find it. And this is a father. Another situation, me and him got the same name. So we had a situation where I had a bank account. I had a little summer job where I was working for this woman, and she was paying me decent money. And he convinced me to open up a bank account. I wasn't trying to open up no bank account. I was going to spend it as soon as I got it anyway. Little kid stuff. At the time, I was around 13 years old. So I was like, man, you need to save your money. So convinced me to put my money in a bank account. When I go back to get a couple dollars out there to get something I want, they telling me you already came and got the money. And this is my father. So it's like, it doesn't matter who you are. Sometimes people got deceit in their heart. Sometimes people are very deceptive, manipulative. And you'll be looking at them one way, and they'll be doing things contrary to hurt you. And they'll have a justification or a reason to do what they want to do, or a reason why they did what they did. And it's like, what can you say? What can you do? What can you do about something like that? It puts you in a bad situation because it'll break your heart, and it'll make you become heartless, and it'll make you do some of the things that you hate that were done to you. You'll find yourself doing it to somebody else in the same fashion because you learned it. It's a learned behavior. What they say, hurt people hurt people. And a lot of times when you're heartbroken, you pick up that behavior. Because a lot of times it ain't just that one person that do it, so you'll get it here. You'll get it here, your homeboy, your mama, your brother, your cousin, and they all done had it done to them. So what you'll do is you'll put it on somebody else. You'll put it on somebody else because somebody put it on you. And it's like, that's what's going on out here. That's what's going on out here. And sometimes you got to safeguard yourself. Because I just had a Zoom meeting with this lady, Tanisha Graves, I think. And she was saying something about what you would do in certain situations. And, I was kind of polite about it, but, there's no easy answer to that. There's no easy answer to that. People can sit there and say what they'll do and how they'll forgive and how they'll turn the other cheek. But trauma ain't easy to put your finger on. Trauma is something that burns you, and it does something to you. And sometimes you don't even know what it's doing to you because you hurt. You grieving at the loss. You grieving at the betrayal. And it changes you. And a lot of times you don't even know that it's changed you. And you don't even react in that situation. Sometimes it pops up later because you didn't deal with it properly at the time. So, I ain't want to get into all that. I just, yeah, you're right. But for real, you don't know what you're gonna do in a situation. You know what you think you're gonna do, but if somebody hurts you, you don't really know what you're gonna do. You can pray on it, but sometimes when somebody hurts you in a certain situation, all you can do is react in that moment because you're out of control. You ain't in control of the situation. So, you know, it's just a sad affair how people do each other, how people lie to each other, how people BS each other, how people trick each other. They be right up under your coattail, right up under you the whole time. They hating on you. They wishing they was you. They wishing they had it. They thinking you don't deserve it. It's supposed to be them. They look in the mirror and they see themselves as the important piece when they ain't even nowhere near important. But somehow they done justified in their mind like none of this would be possible without them. And people, man, people, some of them got the worst intent. They got the worst intent. So, kind of be careful out here. Kind of be wise out here. Try not to put yourself in somebody's hands. Try to be in control of your situation, and sometimes being in control of your situation is doing your first thought is to do this. Sometimes you got to sit back and fight against the grain and do what you normally wouldn't do, because your normal thing would be to trust your friend. Your normal thing would be to, go ahead and get the easy get back. But sometimes you got to fight against them urges, because we have urges, carnal urges. A lot of times we drawn to the negative things. So sometimes you got to fight against that. You got to work yourself out of that and get some good habits in you. And another thing I wanted to bring up, kind of on the same topic, kind of not, about people who they BS. People who BS, they ain't really got nothing to contribute to a situation. They see you talking and they want to outshine you. They want to outtalk you. A lot of times they even try to talk about something they don't even know about, be dead wrong, just to have something to say so they could seem like they on the same level as you, or to kind of like downplay what it is you trying to put together. And it's crazy. Because I've had people in my life, I've had conversations with people, and it's stuff that I know through research and trial and error that I'm sitting here dealing with at the current time. And I'll be like, no, you can't do it like that. Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah, you just do it, do this, do this. And I'm sitting there thinking, this person ain't never did that. But they assume that they can, and they assume that they bringing some knowledge to you when you already done tried it and went through it and seen it ain't work. And it's like, what in the world are you talking about, man? You sound silly, man. Oh no, you just gotta look it up. It ain't as hard as you. If it was, you don't think I would have got to that by now? But like I said, a lot of times people just be talking, especially when they hear you got passion about what you're saying. They want to throw something in there so they could be relevant, and they don't be talking about nothing. So you gotta, like I was saying earlier, you gotta stick to your guns. You gotta already have your path laid out. You gotta already be strategic about what you're trying to do, because you will come up into, I guess, rabbit holes, for lack of better word. You will come up to rabbit holes to where you're not supposed to go into those situations or even get at no time. Just go ahead and go along with the plan you already got, but you will sidetrack and get distracted and start, delving into this or researching this, and it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of time. These days, it ain't like the old days where people used to say, man, you can learn something from anybody, man. You ain't got to learn from no anybody these days. There's other resources and tools that'll give you better information and better insight, especially if you got to second guess it, especially if you know better. You ain't got to pay attention to that. You ain't got to learn from those sources no more. Those is old, antiquated, outdated sources. people that really don't know what they talk about, giving you ideas that they ain't never try out themselves. So you ain't even got to go down the rabbit holes now. You can get you a Chat GBT. You can get you a Copilot. You can get you a Gemini. Those is AI resources that can do some research for you. You got Google. You got your own tools out there to where you ain't got to rely on iffy information no more. Because people they'll sit back and BS you. And like I said, sometimes, man, I don't even go into trying to figure out why people do some of the things they do. If it don't feel right, I identify it as quick as possible, because the longer you don't identify somebody trying to deceive you or somebody being untrue or somebody lying, the more it can hurt you, the more it can hinder you, the more it can distract you. So you got to figure that out quick. You got to identify real quick, y'all. And you don't want to be paranoid of everything, but you don't want to be naive to everything as well. You want to be able to discern and decipher what's going on around you. You want to be able to make good decisions. You don't want to be relying on people to lead you. You almost got to take the steering wheel yourself. You got to take the steering wheel yourself. Don't let people mislead you. Don't let people lie to you. If you can identify, go ahead, do so, and move accordingly. Move accordingly. And, I ain't gonna sit here and say cut everybody off, because then you're gonna be isolated out here. You're gonna be frazzled. You're gonna be in your own world, and that ain't no good for everybody. But you gotta just move accordingly. Make your own decisions. If you do listen to people, make sure it's credible. Check it, do your own knowledge on it, and figure out if it's good for you, if it's not. Because you don't want to be sitting in there thinking somebody there trying to help you and the information they're giving you is hurting you. You don't want that. You don't want that. I know I don't. So, yeah, man, we living in a situation, but like I said, you can combat all that. You can fight against all that. You ain't gotta be that. If that's something you don't like, you ain't gotta feed into it. You ain't gotta be a liar. You ain't gotta defend yourself with lies or deceit or be just as deceptive as the next person. No, you could be you. You could remain true to who you are and be the opposite of that. A lot of times you gotta go against the grain when it comes to stuff like that. You see everybody doing this and that. You ain't gotta feed into it. Everybody tricking everybody. You ain't gotta be one of them people that say, man, I'm out for self. I don't care about nobody else. Nah, you ain't gotta think like that. You ain't gotta feel like that. That ain't gotta be your character. You could go against the grain. I do got compassion. I do care about that next person. I don't lie to people because I don't want them to lie to me. I ain't trying to backstab you because I don't want you to backstab me. I'm going to share with you because I would like for you to share with me. And even if you don't share with me, share with somebody else. Pay it forward. Pay it forward. And we could break that cycle, especially us go-getters. If you sit here listening to my platform and you a go-getter, let's go, let's go. We could change that up. I'm sitting here talking to you now. You ain't got to be out for self out there. You could go a whole different direction. And you could change the outlook, because people will see you doing it. They might not take heed to it, but they seen it. They seen it. And at the same time, when you got compassion for others, you could also acknowledge that people do move in this fashion. So you could be prepared. You could do your own research or analysis of the situation before you make your decision. So, I'm going to end it on that, but I just wanted to give a little Sunday recap because, like I said, we talked about the Dirk situation. So I just wanted to get into the snitching of it, the lies of it, how people will stab you in the back, And they all got a good reason. If you listen to them, they all say, I did it for this and I did it for that and I wanted to do this and my babies. And knock it off. Knock it off. Ain't nobody trying to hear none of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. Let me give a shout out. I'm gonna give a big shout out to BLE Bishop. I be using his beats for my intros and outros sometime. Who I've been listening to. I like that Flawless joint. He got some more. I'm gonna reach out to him and see if he got some more from me. I'm gonna give a shout out to C. Terrell Scott. He went out of town. I think he went to Louisiana. Oh, no. He went to Jersey. I think he went to Jersey. He had some family affairs to go to in Jersey. I'm gonna give a shout out to Eric Davis with Elite Pros Professionals. He give out the good barbershop. I mean the good haircuts at the barbershop right there on 368 Denny Boulevard. Give a shout out to Mario Bunton. And give a shout out to Serenity. She graphic arts. What's her Sierra Nitty? That's what her YouTube page is. And there's other people I'm gonna give a shout out to. I think it's Tanisha Graves. She got the I think it's the MS. She got the nonprofit organizations against MS. I'm gonna get them down and be able to say them correctly so I can lead y'all to her source. I think she got some event going on in Williamsburg where it's like a concert. So I think it's like $35 a ticket. When I come on again, I might have more information to that. But yeah, I'm about to get out of here, y'all. I just wanted to let y'all know, man. Just because other people are cruddy don't mean you have to be cruddy. It means you have to pay attention to what's going on around you. Acknowledge that some people are selfish and some people, they ain't got no integrity. But that don't mean you don't have to have no integrity. That don't mean you don't got to be a stand-up person. You can fight against that grain. You can go against that. So let me get us out of here and play this Flawless one time for the man, y'all. Y'all hear it. Uh-huh. Yeah, this BLE Bishop, y'all. I'm at him. Take us out. So let's get to it. And the tour with a you, because I always got you in mind. We ain't playing. Nah. We ain't playing. Nah. I just want to give y'all something. Go watch me a little bit of football. Probably fall asleep on the game, as usual, per usual. But I'll be back a little bit later on, probably, most likely. Talk to a couple people, see what's going on. Always got something to share with you. And again, let's get to it. And y'all, my go-getters, let's go.